Actually, we took the risk. We knew that Phelps has the same style as Fur, so they are really aggressive and they are playmakers.
As players, FNX and Phelps could not be more different. On one hand, you have an experienced, slow-moving mid-round rifler with no outstanding faults. On the other, a highly aggressive young blood with a lot of potential that isn't used to playing on the same level as SK. During my time at Katowice, I spoke with Taco and Fur, who discussed what the process of adapting to their new teammate was like.
There is some things that Phelps is better than Fur. Some maps Fur will have to adapt. Some maps Phelps will have to adapt. Phelps Mirage T is really good on mid. Like he's always sneaking, finding place to go, finding kills for us. So he's really good doing this.
Today we're going to watch back a match from DreamHack Masters and compare it with one from Star Series to see how Fur and Phelps have developed as teammates and what that's done for SK. Map 3 of the Grand Finals of DreamHack Masters, SK take Virtus.Pro to Mirage and grabbed 8T rounds. As we're watching these clips, I'll point out some things that should be remembered. Phelps' job nearly every round of mid-control on Mirage is to find a new way to work window. Here we'll watch him dumping all his nades early, effectively playing support when it's his job to make progress up mid. He then luckily gets up to cat corner, but with no smoke in window or flash to obscure Snax' vision, gets opt and taken out of the round. In my opinion, he was fortunate to even make it that far considering how little there was to distract his run-up. Now we'll contrast this play with last week's at Star Series in a similar situation. One difference here is that they're facing saving players, but what's funny about that is that Phelps is even more careful here than he was versus a full buy on a nearly identical approach to window control. Right away, instead of burning his nades and warding off the window peak, it's been smoked for him. Next, the Molotov to assist Fur in controlling connector, and a flash from Cold so that he can peek cat without having to watch his back. All clear, so he gets up on cat corner just as the smoke dissipates and kills Snax in the exact same spot without him being able to even get a shot off. The teamwork is clearly improved. Fur is given an aggressive role but also serves as a support system for Phelps. As we can see, Phelps has gained much clearer idea of what to do, as well as what to expect from his team so that he can make more dangerous but also deliberate moves safely. Here's a situation in an earlier round where Phelps simply tries to move up cat, but does it too quickly and dies worrying about connector. And where is Fur? During the Star Series match, there was not a single rifle round where mid-control was the objective, that Fur was not tied into what Phelps was doing. Even in late round situations where they split up, Phelps and Fur managed to coordinate entries from 2 choke points on the side of the map they rarely even hit. The differences were subtle, but it's shaving off those moments that made all the difference with SK's T-side on Mirage. If Phelps died in window, it was only ever when Fur had connector control and was able to trade. On the reverse, Phelps was quite a bit more patient but always activated himself when Fur opened up A or had pushed out to initiate the site take. Kills were never taken in vain and trades were always made possible. It was clear that instead of trying to transform Phelps into the player that fit right into a major winning lineup, the team decided to respect his strengths and work towards a different dynamic. And as we've seen, progress has been made. Fur and Phelps both finished the map with the same amount of kills and nearly identical ADR, but there's definitely more to this change than only how they've been playing. In this match, we've seen them taking nearly all first fights, opening the site of their choosing, and working off each other's aggressive tendencies. Suddenly, 2/5 of the team that were out of the spotlight are now in the center stage. We see that this is a Mirage-specific adjustment, but it's funny to see Taco basically become an aggressive lurk at A, with Fallen sitting back and making sure he's protecting the rifles, instead of trying to find an opening with the op himself. However weird this seems, this is intimidating. Having 2 riflers opening up splits from some of the riskiest spots to stand in on Mirage isn't something many teams do, period. This is something that's quite unique to SK, and it's cool to see they've identified a new way to innovate versus top teams on a map I'd say they nearly perfected in 2016. Counter-Strike is a game that's impossible to objectively critique with ridiculous shots, or whiffs, flying in the face of strategy all the time. The key though is to focus on the approach and question whether or not the players are putting themselves in high probability situations more often than not. In this case, nuanced adjustments combined with the developments that Fur and Phelps have made have shown us why this team will be more consistent as a whole. It should be worrying for opponents that they have to read a team that's using free-flowing aggression in a calculated and focused way like they have here on T-side Mirage, because you'll never quite see the same river twice.